we can see from all the collars that we put on when they last transmitted. Several of them are actually showing that they haven't transmitted for a while, which implies that they've probably fallen off and are not going any, so therefore the hyena is not going near a repeater, or the transmitter is not going near a repeater, and the data is not being uploaded. It could also mean that the hyena has died, but with the number of non-transmissions that we're seeing, I don't think it's that the hyenas have died. I think the collars have dropped off. We still are, though, able to see that there are other collars which don't seem to be moving. And that implies also that it's dropped off, but it's dropped off in proximity to a repeater, so it's still uploading its data. So we went and we looked for one of those collars, and that's the one that we found, which had been all eaten up. All the transmitter is there, but all the collar has been eaten up.
Dental densite is a collar that's been absolutely chewed up. So the drop-off collar, you can see there's the drop-off mechanism. Sorry, can you hold your phone? So you can see that this is the weak material they use as the natural drop-off. So that's torn off, and most probably puppies or something has chewed
on it.
But old chewing, you can see.
And what we could see in that area was that it was a densite previously. There was bones from a giraffe that seems to have died of natural causes, and probably the hyena clan spent some time there, with the giraffe carcass, and it looks like there might have been cubs or something playing around with the collar that fell off. And that's when they ate off all the webbing and things from the collar. But so that collar had been in that location for quite a while, and we were able to see that from the transmissions, from the data uploads, and retrieve that. So what we're finding basically is that these drop-off collars that we put on, that were supposed to stay on for about 9 months, only seem to be staying on about 3 months. It's probably, a combination of the weather, and the webbing material was too soft, and the hyenas are themselves a bit too rough and play too hard, with each other.
Within 2 to 3 months, they started falling off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So clearly using that material is not a practical use in this country. I've seen material that they've used in America for bears and cougars that are much softer. It's actually material. This is belting. This is thin belting that I would have thought would have easily lasted 9 months. And their material just perishes in the sun, and they would last on those animals for at least 9 months, as they were telling us. This, we need a stronger material.
But I think the problem also is because it's brown hyena. I mean, they chew on each other, and
and there's a lot of fighting, and when they fight, they grab each other by the necks. Hence, that really thick mane they have is to protect them. So when they grab each other by the necks and they shake, they tear those collars off. And I think that's what's happening as well. There's a lot of fighting. Even the babies are constantly tugging on their mothers.
Yeah.
So if they get hold of the collar, they would be pull on it and they'll tear it off.
Easily, yeah. I mean, even the main part of the collar has been chewed up.
Yeah, that would be subsequent to that.
Yeah.
The collar's dropped off, and now they've chewed everything off.
Yeah.
And their antennas left.
Especially if there are cubs around. Cubs will often bite on the collars of the mothers and can rip them off in that sense.
So what would a plan B be to try and have a drop off?
Well, I would just like to actually save up and have professional drop-off collars, which you actually have a timer. And it's a magnet that you actually then remotely release, and it just drops off, and you can reuse it again. That would be one idea. Or you just use stronger belting, but I don't see that working because the belting seems to just separate at the joint.
At the joint.
But those the only downside of those professional, the proper design drop-off mechanisms, it's a big additional. So you have the collar, you got the belt, and you got this big thing on the side as well that is about that thick and about yay wide. And it's these two magnets that just click together like this. And when you release them remotely, it just releases, and then it just hangs there until it walks and then it falls off.
If we were looking for any brown hyena support,
GPS is the cheaper option, but then the drop-off mechanisms, you add it to a collar. So you add the mechanism to any collar that you use. You just need the same breadth. So it's on a 50 millimeter belt or a 20 millimeter, 28 millimeter belt. So you want to know your belting diameter, the breadth, the thickness, the breadth of it, and then your drop-off mechanism that matches that. That would be something to look into. Because there's also one where we can actually catch an hyena, put it on, follow it, then realize she's not a clan member or she's not a matriarch, and then she's all over the place, or he, and then we just then drop it off, and then we go and collect it, and that's right. It needs a VHF capability as well.